Welcome back to the Morning Blend. Today, for the first time ever, we have a sex therapist joining us on the Morning Blend. She is here to help with a very common complaint from couples we talked about a little while ago, the spark that's fizzled. She's here to help get it back in your relationship.
Dr. Francie Stone is a certified sex therapist, supervisor, and consultant. We're so happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. I think this is an uncomfortable topic for a lot of people, talking about sex or sex in their relationship, whether they're having it or not having it. Absolutely. It's tough to talk about with your friends and sometimes with your partner.
Absolutely.
What do you think is the reason or reasons that a lot of people start to lose the spark?
Well, I think that we can kind of narrow it down to three. Tired, fatigue. Yeah. Most couples are working, both are working in the relationship. We build a family, we begin to have children. That's our second one.
Yeah.
The focus then goes right into children and family, and we're running and going for them. And then the third becomes boredom. We start to get into patterns and ruts. We forget about the couple. We forget about making couple time because we're so busy doing so many other things.
Right.
Working, taking care of family, taking care of children, those sorts of things, and it starts to just go.
So as people maybe kind of recognize that there's a problem, they say, hey, this is something I feel like we need to get back on track. What's a mistake maybe that a lot of people or a lot of couples make when they attempt to do that?
The biggest mistake I would say is making it a demand.
Yes,
one person in the couple saying, I really want you to do this. And then the other's like recoiling back. So communication is very important and is very key, but demanding something makes it prickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a great point. I have a very good friend who's in a situation exactly like this. And I told her one time the best way to think about it is like you're in a bubble. And if someone pushes you too far, you lean out and pop the bubble. You know, there's got to be a little bit of leaning, but it can't be too far, or you really push someone away and pop that whole thing. So like, if instead of making a demand, how do you start the conversation? Because I think it's easy for people to feel offended or upset by someone saying that they're unhappy with what you're giving them.
Yeah, they get their feelings hurt.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely. So don't start the conversation in the bedroom before or after.
Okay.
That would not be a good time.
It's interesting you say that, because earlier I didn't give the tip, but when I talked about something that couples fight about and relating it to sex, the thing they said is when you have a conversation about it, have it outside the bedroom with your clothes on.
Yes, yes.
Which is basically what you're saying.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Don't have the conversation in the bedroom. Don't have the conversation when you're tired and distracted.
Yeah.
That's not going to help or benefit anyone. You're not going to be focused. You're not going to be listening. You're not 11 or 12 o'clock at night. No one wants to have the conversation.
Right.
They want to go to bed.
Yeah.
And I guess make an appointment to have that dedicated time outside the bedroom with your clothes on, talking about what are the things that we enjoy doing or want to be doing or like doing. Have that conversation together. That communication is so key. It is so key.
And it seems like it helps too for people. I have a friend who's really good at saying, help me understand first before seeking to be understood. And maybe if you say, hey, what's working for you? What makes you happy? What doesn't? Let's talk about that first. Then share your thoughts or feelings. I think is a good way to approach it, because it at least shows a willingness to try to understand how the other person is feeling about the situation.
Absolutely. Listening is so key. One of the things we will talk about is using eye language. I'm feeling this way, so I would love to snuggle because it makes me feel protected and loved and cared by you. So I love when we do that. Could we do more of that? That sounds so much better than we never snuggle. Could you snuggle with me?
Right, right.
You know,
or you don't do this. Yes.
So when we start pointing that finger, that's when we pull it back and say,
exactly.
I. So,
and that builds resentment.
So, and I think that's a great point. So really make time to be a couple is one thing, because I would think it's different sometimes for men and women, what it takes to get them back in the mood and what it takes to reignite that spark.
Yes.
So what are some other of your tips for reigniting that spark?
So do make couple time. We have to make couple time, especially when we're working, when we have children. We have to get a babysitter. We have to go out on dates. We have to do those couple things to maintain that couplehood and closeness as a couple.
As a couple, if you're spending couple time, would it be a good idea to see a movie like 50 Shades of Grey or 50 Shades Darker? I think people wonder about that. Is that good for your relationship or bad?
Well, one of my homework ideas is you can go to a movie if you have dinner too, so you can talk about the movie.
Okay,
because when we go to a
cute.
movie, we're just sitting side by side, and we're really not interacting with each other. But that is a good conversation starter, if you will, for sure.
Okay.
Well, and I think that goes well with your second tip is the reigniting the intimacy or affection without the intimacy.
Right, without increasing that intimacy. So, in other words, we want to try and reignite affection, which is, when you walk by or we put a hand on our shoulder, and that's affection. That's not increasing the intimacy along with that. So we can hug, and we can have extended hugs, and we can sit and snuggle on the couch, and that. Let's do those things. Let's start doing that, reigniting that. Not worrying that if I do this, it's going to increase somewhere else.
Yeah.
So.
And your third best tip is check your usual pattern and kind of your gut feeling. Are you in a rut? Are you bored? And then probably acknowledge that and try to find a solution together.
Right. And that comes back to communication and conversing together. It's like add the spices. It's kind of like cooking.
Yeah.
If we were cooking with salt and pepper, and then one day our doctor says, guess what? You can't have salt anymore. Oh, I only have pepper? No, you've got, turmeric and,
Cilantro.
come on, help me. A bunch of other
Garlic.
truffle oil. We've got all kinds
Yeah.
of wonderful flavors, and as you're trying them, you go, I like that so much. Oh, I love that one. So it's spice of life. We have to spice things up.
Yeah, I like that.
I think it's great, and I think seeking out a professional to have help, whether it's just to talk about problems or get suggestions, is always great. I think sometimes people hold back because they don't want to, but there may be reasons that you're not feeling that spark. So you can contact Dr. Francie Stone at drfranciestone.com. She can help you understand maybe what's happening in your relationship or how to get that spark back for the two of you. Thanks so much for being here.
It was great to meet you.
Oh, thank you. It's great to meet you too.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank